Yeah, this episode's giving all the feels. It's got funny moments, it's got sad moments, it's got gaspy moments.
It's got why is this happening moments?
This is Whose Creek Is It?
The podcast where two sisters recap and pontificate about the show Dawson's Creek.
I'm Miranda, and I've seen the whole series at least 5 times.
And I'm Allison, and I'm watching the show for the very first time. Let's get started. Well, that was an episode.
I know, they're like, things are getting a little boring around here.
Let's ruin everyone's life.
Yeah. And I love that the whole plan of how to, like, explain how everyone's life is being ruined is because of the full moon.
Yeah. It's this... Every, 10th episode, they do something spooky, sort of. Something like... it was really weird. And I don't know. So yeah, the full moon's happening. I guess things will happen.
Yeah.
And they sure did on the episode Full Moon Rising.
Yes. I know we didn't really start with the introduction, but Season 2, Episode 5, Full Moon Rising, came out November 4th, 1998. Director was David Semel and writer was Dana Barada. So we start in Dawson's room and we're watching some movie close up on the screen that I don't know what the movie is. I'm not sure if it's really decipherable, but it's like a full moon and I think there's like a werewolf or something.
Oh, I thought it was like a dog. I was like, is this a scene from Homeward Bound where one of the dogs does something heroic? But yeah, there was some kind of animal jumping across as there's a full moon.
Yeah. And we hear Dawson and Joey talking, and then we see that they're actually on the roof outside of his bedroom. Mm-hmm. They start talking about the full moon, and Joey starts spitting some very specific facts, and then she makes a turn towards, like, woo-woo stuff.
Yeah. She's like, the first thing it was like, Joey's just intent on being a downer in this moment.
I mean, I learned some stuff. The moon is 240,000 miles away, and it's actually the night before the full moon. She says something about I'm sorry. She's just, like, getting really science-y, but then she goes like, oh, well, full moons invite chaos. And Dawson's like, I just think they're pretty.
Yeah. Actually, the thing she said was that, human bodies are 70% water and tides are controlled by the movements of the moon. And that was the one thing that, like, I forget when someone said that to me or like where I first heard it. And I was like, that's kind of convincing to me because I'm not saying that like the moon makes us do different things, but if like, I don't know, there could be something so microscopic happening that like maybe it changes the way people behave in the tiniest way, or like, I don't know, humans are delicate creatures making very rash decisions. Sometimes I think just the slightest tweak can really screw things up.
That's true. I was not expecting you to be so woo-woo.
I wouldn't say I'm woo-woo. I'm just like, a very good friend of mine is what you would call woo-woo, and I think people try to find meaning in all kinds of things, and no one's ever gone to war over woo-woo. Well, no one's. I mean, if you pull in anti-vax stuff, but like if you're going,
I was going to say if you bring religion in,
but that's the thing. Are you drawing the line between
kind of woo-woo?
Okay, but organized religion versus like woo-woo
spirituality.
Yeah, because I think the war of it all usually comes from like the hard classification. It's like you're in or you're out. Whereas if you're more woo-woo, you can be like, it's all a spectrum, dude.
That's true.
I don't know. No one has ever told me I'm going to hell because of my astrology sign.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, so it's setting the tone that, like, I don't know, basically Dawson's just kind of optimistic as always, and Joey's being like a downer.
Hmm.
And then Dawson almost falls off the roof, but he didn't, so
But
it's
he
fine.
did. Yeah. Did you? So the way that Dawson's bedroom and window is set up, our bedrooms in the house we lived in high school were kind of like that. Like you could go out the window and there was like a little like, is it an eave?
Dormer.
Dormer? See, you know things.
it's
Like,
it's a thing that juts out that has a little roof over it. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. We had those things, and I definitely. This wasn't like a habit thing, but one day I did realize I could like pop out the screen and like climb out there.
Yeah, I feel like maybe you did that. I feel like I remember you maybe doing that.
Yeah, there wasn't really much to it though. I didn't like hang out there. I didn't do anything. It was just like, when you're a kid and you realize you can do something, and you're like,
Hmm.
well, I better do it then.
Yeah. You're desperate for any kind of like control to do anything risky or different.
Yeah.
Except here's the thing. Dawson lives on a beautiful creek,
Yeah.
and there's something to look at. Our house just pointed at another suburban house.
Yeah, we were in just the uh, we were in an area of California that's just like housing developments. Like they'd have a name for the neighborhood and they would have four models of houses. And so
Mhm.
every house would be one of those four models. And it was all these like streets and a lot of them cul-de-sacs. And it was just big beige boxes.
Yeah, which the HOA was crazy. You had to get a paint color approved if you changed the exterior of your house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now that whenever I have friends who are like, by the grace of God or parents, trying to buy a home, they're like, what can I do to not have an HOA?
Yeah, I know. I don't know anybody in our age range that wants an HOA.
Yeah. They're like, leave me. I don't want to pay money to have someone to tell me what to do.
But yeah, we really did kind of have that quintessential like American upbringing, I feel like, to some degree, like where we lived.
Somewhat. But except we were somewhat, and then some in some ways very not, since we were extremely disconnected from family and community.
Yeah.
Our family was not outside of our immediate family. Like we did not see them, and then our parents basically worked and drove home, so there was no like community there.
Yeah.
But the trappings, the physical objects were there.
Yeah. Okay, so speaking of parental dysfunction, I guess we next cut to Mitch, who's with Tamara, so she's still here.
Yeah, I was like, she's still here? And meanwhile, she's to Mitch, she's like, I'm trying to get this done, man. Can we do it by my warehouse?
Which I'm like, girl, if it's really a problem, like, don't you have a realtor? Doesn't there need to be a realtor here?
Yeah. You can't just, it's a whole thing.
Yeah. Mitch is talking about wanting to see the plans of the warehouse because, it's such a complex building.
Mm-hmm. And part of me was like, honestly, maybe you two should make out. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't really care either way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so we just see a quick snippet of them, and we're in downtown when this is happening, and they kind of do this fun, like, jump off from character to character. So after that little bit, we then see Jen walking down the street by herself, and apparently Vincent is still here, and...
with his, like, 8 o'clock shadow. Like, so much hair on this man's face.
Yeah, and he runs up to her and is flirty, bantery, and asks her out.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jen kind of, I don't know, she seems like her face reads like, I probably shouldn't be doing this, but here's my address.
Yeah, giving him your grandmother's house's address is... That was a choice.
Yeah. And then we cut to Andie, who's going into the movie store where Pacey is working the cash register. I don't know. He's working there.
He's working.
And apparently he's been watching porn on the TV.
Yeah, as you do.
As you do. Andie kind of sees what he's doing, and they just have their little banter session. Also, like, Pacey lists off a bunch of porno movies, which I found out on IMDb are actual porno movies from, like, the 80s. I was like, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, it is interesting that there's such a focus on wordplay. I mean, I'm sure not all of them. I'm sure there's lots of, like, really badly named porns, but, like, I can
They don't
appreciate
want to have
some
to come
wordplay.
up with, like, a story. They just want to rip off something else for easy writing.
Because the point is, like, it's just like, here is a conceit that we can make the sex happen in.
Yeah. Anyway, so Pacey actually asks Andie out, like, officially. He's like, maybe we should go out. And he suggests that they go to the movies. She seems happy about it until he says, yeah, I'll just pick you up at your house. And then she gets really weird.
Yeah. And I was immediately like, okay, what is it that, I mean, we've established that they're not as rich as they used to be, but, like, what is she hiding in this? Like, because it's not like, are they, like, living in squalor? That doesn't seem like the vibe, but, so clearly she has something to hide.
Yeah, but this date is happening, but we'll find out later, neither of them really agreed on where they're meeting.
Yep. Communication is difficult. Sometimes.
Okay, so Jen is at some store that has makeup.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of applies later. Abby comes running in and tries to be her best friend out of nowhere. Like, I don't know, just brushes off the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, as she's talking to Jen, she's just, like, putting things obviously in her bag without paying for them.
Yeah, it was just like, oh my God, you were doing so much, Abby. Also, I spent a few minutes going, wait, Andie, Abby. Got it. Took me a minute to get the name straight.
Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be a battle. Yeah, but she's trying to make nice with Jen, and then Jen kind of turns and is like, okay, well, if we are friends again, I need to tell somebody this. And she tells Abby that she has a date with Vincent. And then Abby just reacts badly.
Yeah, she reacts badly, and especially since she, like, initiated this whole thing, she's trying to bring them together. This is not letting her off the hook, but I was like, Jen, you should know better than to lead with the date with Vincent. Like, you can try to maintain a relationship with someone while recognizing that they're not going to be mature enough for some things.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't have to tell everyone everything.
Yeah, but Jen doesn't have anyone else to tell.
Yeah, I was going to say, I understand the, like, desire of, like, I need to tell someone. I can't just keep this to myself. But also, like, who else does she have to tell this to?
Yeah.
Because she is kind of, like, she's having a completely separate storyline right now from the other characters.
Yeah, it was heartbreaking.
Yeah. Once Abby kind of explodes, Jen's just trying to get away from her and is, like, trying to walk away from her. And Abby keeps saying terrible things. And she says about Vincent, I guess he knows an easy lay when he sees one or something like that. And she immediately turns around and slaps the shit out of Abby.
This slap, it was a single slap, but it was so much. It was... listen, here at Who's Creek is it we don't advocate for violence, but, like, Abby was talking some shit. Abby was talking some shit, and Abby has never had her shit rocked.
Yeah, but, like, I think I still, like, gasped because, like, I forget this happens, and it is, like, so not to the tone of the rest of the show. Like, we haven't seen physical violence, I think, with anybody. Well, Joey's punched some jocks, but other than that, like...
Yeah, you're right. This isn't really... Yeah, this isn't a show where, like, physical violence plays a significant part.
Yeah. Yeah, Jen slaps her and says, don't ever talk to me again, and walks off.
Which, good. I mean, Jen needs someone or something so bad, but Abby is not it.
Yeah. So then we are in Dawson's house at the kitchen with Joey and Dawson hanging out at some table doing homework, I guess, and Mitch and Gale are in the kitchen. Gale appears to be making some kind of fancy meal, and it's revealed that she's preparing to have like a fellow reporter come by and like chit chat with her network. It's not really clear.
Yeah, yeah. She made it sound like, yeah, you know, it happens every few months, and it's like, so why is this news to Mitch? Yeah, it does sound like the kind of thing that your boss would be like, hey, we have so and so in town, entertain them for the night, and you'd be like, God, really?
And Mitch gets like visibly upset, and he's like, but it's Saturday.
And that's a
that
Thursday
sounds like
activity.
A Thursday. Yeah. Yeah, and then Dawson just pipes in and is like, what are Thursdays?
Yeah.
And neither of them really answer him. But yeah, Mitch is like, well, you know, it doesn't really help that he's a coworker because of the history.
Mm-hmm.
And then Gale says, at least I have coworkers.
Oh my God. I wrote that down word for word. Like, oh man, it's like, because this has never really come up before. That like, it's not clear whether Mitch has like a previous career that he's taking a break from or was laid off from, or if he has like had his own business in the past. Because this entire time he's just been like kind of tinkering around the house. And it's never been, they've never hinted at like real financial trouble, but if you're in a fight with your partner and you want to hurt him.
Yeah. I'll be honest, I don't think they ever explain what the situation was here with Mitch not having a job.
He's just like doing bicep curls. Don't worry about it. He's fixing a boat in a tank top, and I'm okay with it.
If only there was an OnlyFans back then.
No, I don't want him to do anything crazy. I just want him to like fix a boat with a wrench in his biceps.
Gale just kind of really, she doesn't back down when he's like, I'm sorry, like shocked by what she said. And she's like, yeah, no, I said what I said.
Yeah, I said what I said. And like, and because there's no context of like their financial situation though, it feels petty, but on the other hand, he has been unable to he's been digging at her too. It's tough. Like, because normally I would not be in favor of someone making fun of the joblessness of their partner.
Yeah.
But she's been putting up with a lot, but also she's having to because she cheated. So I don't know.
Yeah. Joey and Dawson are like, so we're going to go.
We're going to go be somewhere else.
Yeah. And as they're like walking out of the kitchen, Joey's like, it's the full moon.
Yeah, that's when the problem started.
Then we're at Jen's house, and Jen is getting pretty in the mirror. And Grams comes up from behind and says she's going to Bible study.
Yeah, and invites her. And I just had the thought of like, Grams, what if you tried to connect with her about literally anything else? Just something that's not religion. Like, find something you both like. Do you like to bake? Do you like to... You have gone to a movie? Go to the movies together. But it's just... Grams doesn't know how to give Jen what she needs, and Jen doesn't know how to get what she needs.
Yeah. They could use some couple therapy.
Something, man.
Anyway, but it is kind of funny how Grams like tries to make it sound fun. It's like, we're gonna read this part of the Bible. I don't remember what part because I don't know the Bible.
I was like, the book of John. I remember that much. And she says like, if you don't even think of the religious implications, it can just be a good story. And like, I have actually thought of that as like a creative writing exercise, just taking Bible stories and retelling them in a different context.
Mm-hmm.
Just being like, and so looked behind him and turned into salt. And then his phone fell on the ground or something.
You should write like a spoof of the Bible, but like don't say it's based on the Bible and just say it's fiction and then see how people respond. If they're like, this is nonsense.
This is nonsense full of incest and slavery and rape. Guys, if you haven't read the Old Testament, it really...
I was gonna say, though, when you just described all that, I'm like, that sounds like Game of Thrones.
It was. Like, honestly, I was never religious, but, like, for AP Literature in high school, we read some books of the Bible, and I was like, yeah, this is not converting me. It was primarily the Old Testament stuff, because the Old Testament is harsh. In the Old Testament, God's just like, you're all trash and I hate you and I'm going to kill all of you.
See, that sounds like an unhealthy relationship.
Yeah. And then Jesus, his son, is a total people pleaser because his dad is so angry and vengeful. And Jesus is just like, I'm just trying to be kind and take care of everyone and sacrifice myself because it's the only way I know how. It's a fawn response. Anyway.
Okay. Jen does nicely say to Grams, like, oh, I'm not interested. And Grams pauses and she says, I won't be late. And I can tell she knows something's up because it's like, girl, okay, you have no plans, but you're getting all dolled up. What's happening?
I'm giving you fair warning that I won't be late.
Then there's apparently Grams has left and there's a knock on the door. We think it's probably going to be Vincent. Weirdly, it's Abby.
Yeah. Abby is one of those, like, I don't know if abusive is the right term, but it's a dynamic that you see with abusive people of, like, punishing someone and pushing them away and then expecting to be able to just reel them back in the moment you're ready.
Yeah, exactly. Jen just basically says, get the hell out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Vincent's going to be here any minute and I don't want you here.
Yeah. And I was like, good job, Jen.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe don't have a date with Vincent, the 29-year-old, but...
You know, one step at a time, I guess.
I suppose.
Yeah. We briefly see that Gale's at the house with the reporter guy who seems about the same age and seems, I guess, attractive for the 90s. I don't know.
Oh, he came off kind of nerdy to me.
Okay. Yeah, and they're drinking wine on the couch, and then Tamara comes to the house, I guess unannounced, and is bringing the warehouse plans.
Yeah.
So Mitch is there to greet her,
mm-hmm.
Or I think Gale goes to answer the door.
Yeah, anyway. And she's like, who the hell is this? And then Mitch comes up.
Yeah, she's like, this woman is way hotter than the guy I'm hanging out with.
Yeah.
Joey is at the ice house with Jack. It appears to be late. There is nobody there other than like one guy drinking coffee. Joey's complaining that it's slow and just is like, so we're not going to make any tips. We're going to be here even though we can't leave because of that guy. Mm-hmm. And Jack is kind of like, hey, so you're like a downer.
Yeah. And I can see both sides because on the one hand, that is not a fun time when you're waiting tables and you know you're not making any money. You know that you were going to walk away with nothing this night, but also you can't leave because that one person is just sitting there. So, like, situationally, that is a thing that servers are annoyed and complain about. But also, Jack's right. You're like angry all the time, and it's kind of a bummer.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to go on a tangent here because it reminded me of something.
Go.
So, I used to, like, go see live music more a few years back before the pandemic. And then, I don't know, my whole social needs changed and I don't go out as much. Anyway, and I went to, like, this wine bar that had a musician playing there. And there were people there when I came in. And then he took, like, a set break. And then all the other customers left. And then it was just me, him, and like the people that worked there. And I was like, should I go or is it more sad if I go?
Yeah, that's a tough one.
So I stayed.
Yeah. Oh, that's... I mean, I hope he got paid either way, the musician, but like,
Yeah, I think so. And then as I left, he was like, "Thanks for coming." And I was like,
yeah, okay, he probably appreciated having someone there. That's tough.
but I know it's different because like I don't think people waiting tables are like they want you to go if it's just one person.
Well, especially if it's the end of the night. Like
Yeah.
if that was like a lull before the next rush, like they're gonna be there anyway. It doesn't really matter. But if like you close at 10 and you got one person sitting there at 9:45.
Yeah. Yeah, my rule has always been when like a restaurant is closing, I'm like, okay, we should hurry,
We should get
but
yeah.
we definitely need to not be the last people here.
Mm-hmm. Because they are waiting for us to.
Yeah.
Prior to him saying that, Joey is like sketching the guy there drinking coffee, and Jack is like doing origami, making origami claws.
Yeah.
And I just was thought Jack is an adorable doofus.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
He's such a sweetie pie.
Mm-hmm.
Vincent arrives at Jen's house, apparently, because we see them on the porch together. And this is when we find out more about Vincent. Like, he's actually secretly, like, a Nepo baby, I guess, who is saving to go to law school, but his father owns a marina and he got him a job doing boat stuff.
Yeah, it was kind of a mixed. It sounded like it was kind of a mix of class stuff going on. It was like his father or his uncle owned a marina, which you can make very good money doing something like that, or just being in any kind of trade. But clearly he's not rich enough to just like pay out of pocket for law school, which, but at the same time, this was the 90s when one could theoretically save up for law school, whereas today, that's just absurd. The idea that you'd have to work 20 years to save up enough to go to law school.
Yeah, no, I have a friend who's a lawyer, and she had like over $100,000 of student loan debt.
Mm-hmm.
And the way she was able to quote unquote pay it off was she worked for government for like more than 5 years and it got forgiven.
Yeah.
So.
I think it's usually like 10 years, I think, but
Or maybe it's 10. I don't know.
whatever.
But she had to put in her time for that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, isn't that crazy?
It is absolutely wild that like we have shortages of not attorneys necessarily, but like nurse and doctor shortages, and it's like yeah, because it's a huge financial burden to get to that point, and many people cannot do it. If we want to solve a problem, we have to make it easier for people to solve the problem. Like.
Yeah, instead they seem to be going the opposite way where they're like, well, what if we just have nurse practitioners? What if we just have people who go to school less?
Yeah, what if we have that? What if we also make it harder so that fewer women do it?
Yeah.
And then the women will stay home, and the men will have less competition for jobs, and maybe their wages will go up if we don't let women work. I don't know. We're Christian nationalism, everybody. Life is a nightmare. I've had that stuck in my head.
Yeah. But most of the workforce is women now. Most of the people that are educated are women now. It's like men are not keeping up, so maybe they should sit at home.
Maybe. Yeah, it is interesting to reflect that like we are really the first generation of women who have had anything women have never had this sort of women reached peak freedom in our lifetimes, and now we're on the way down.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's a time. And then you talk to some men and you go, yeah, you're not lonely enough.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that there's enough of them that are not good to
There's
kind
enough
of make it.
And well, and the good ones, and because there's some that are so bad, even the good ones, you're like I play on a co-ed adult hockey team, so I get dressed with a bunch of middle-aged men, and so I get what I'm sure is a very sanitized version of locker room talk, and it's just like, oh, men.
Yeah.
And well, part of it is just like not I'm sure part of it is just like surface level connection that you do with people you see once a week. It's hard to have any like better conversation than that. I don't know. But ooh, it's time.
We went into a tangent about women's autonomy and stuff. And that came from Vincent saying he's trying to be a lawyer.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yep, that's right. And he's like, what does that surprise you? Do appearances mean everything? And it's like, buddy, with a haircut and a shave, you are a lawyer.
Yeah. The irony is I don't know, maybe he's gonna be like a defense attorney for guilty people or something. But it's like, sir, you should know the law, or you should respect the law in theory.
Yeah, although how that evening ends, we can discuss more because it's unclear. Yeah. I assumed he knew some things that maybe he didn't know. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. All right, moving on. Dawson's at his house while his parents are entertaining guests, and he's just kind of like walking from one room to another, being like, "This seems weird."
Yeah. My dad's talking to my ex-English teacher who slept with my friend, and my mom's drinking wine on the couch with this, like, random guy.
Yeah. Okay, so apparently they all get into the kitchen. Gale accuses Mitch of being interested in Tamara, and like, well, why'd you bring her here, and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They bring up Thursday. I think it was Gale who brought up Thursday again. And Dawson again asks, what is Thursday? And then they just both tell him to go to his room.
Yeah.
Gale once again like tears at Mitch, saying like, oh, well, you know, I have to go entertain this guy because I need to keep my job to like pay for your pipe dreams or something like that.
Ooh.
And then Mitch tells her, I got a loan. Which, how, sir? I mean, I guess because your wife's income.
Well, no, but also, I don't know how this works. I'm not married. Can a married person take out a loan? I mean, yeah, I guess they could. But I don't think you can take out a loan based on your spouse's income without your spouse's knowledge.
Consent,
yeah.
Probably. Yeah, so that's not clear.
Yeah.
And they start arguing. And then it cuts to the guests who are just like quietly sitting overhearing this whole thing.
Yeah, hearing the guests overhearing them argue about how each of them is basically on a date, and I think both of the guests are just like, I want to sell my warehouse, or like, I don't know, this is my job.
And so they just kind of have a spat and walk off and go back to their guests.
Mm-hmm.
And then Dawson does go to his room and finds Abby watching through the window at Jen's place with binoculars.
Yeah, being a totally normal and fine person. Person that is well adjusted.
Mm-hmm. And then next, Pacey goes to Andie's house because he thinks that he's picking her up there because communication was not clear.
Yeah.
And the mother answers. Seems friendly, nice, normal, maybe a little too friendly.
Like a little Stepford-y, but, you know.
Yeah. He comes in, the mother is like, oh, well, Andie very much likes you. And then she comments that her father will be home soon. And then she calls for Tim. We don't know who Tim is.
Yeah.
I don't think I caught her name. Maybe they didn't mention it. But yeah, Andie's mom asks him to stay for dinner. And he's like, okay, but like, where's Andie?
Yeah.
Like, shouldn't I? What are?
Yeah, and there's also just like so much china on the dining room table.
He's like uncomfortable, but is like, all right, this is fine.
Yeah.
And then we cut back to the restaurant, and for some reason the power glitches, and that somehow stops the lobster tank pump. Yeah. But everything else is fine. I don't know. And
yeah, the pump isn't working. Whatever.
Yeah, and I love that Jack immediately says, I didn't do it.
Listen, Jack knows how he is perceived.
Yeah, and then Joey's freaking out because apparently the lobsters will, like, die or something.
Yeah, I was like, well, do they need water or do they need cold? Because her immediate response is put them
Yeah.
on ice.
Maybe they were gonna die anyway, and so to save them for later, they need to be on ice.
Well, I think, well, I'm pretty sure crustaceans are cold blooded. I could be making that up. And maybe
Probably.
like the cold puts them into two people who have not done like zoology trying to. But I think the idea is like you putting them on ice will kind of make the like if you put a snake in the freezer.
Hibernate?
Yeah, like kind of like it'll keep them alive for now. It like slows down their nervous system. But they
Sure.
Need,
That's science.
but they need water, don't they?
I don't know. I have no idea.
I don't know.
Okay, so they're dealing with, like, trying to take all the lobsters out of the tank. Andie comes running in looking for Pacey.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, I don't know. He wasn't at the movie. And if he's not here, then she realizes he must have gone to their house. And so she starts freaking out.
Yeah.
And she tells Jack, oh my God, he probably went to the house. And then Jack responds like, oh no, kind of vibe.
Yeah.
And so we're like, okay, something's definitely up here.
Yeah, like clearly, like Jack knows immediately, like it's not just like, oh, our family's weird. It's like clearly there's something specific that they do not want to reveal to the outside world.
Yeah. And Andie goes running off, presumably to their house to get Pacey. And then at the end of that scene, it pans to the moon.
Just to remind you that it's that damn moon.
Vincent and Jen have now like moved inside to the dining room table, and they are talking about their most embarrassing sexual encounter, which I'm like, all right, this is jumped.
Okay, sure.
And Vincent tells his most embarrassing sexual encounter was that he met a woman in New Orleans that wasn't biologically a woman.
Yeah, and I just like face palmed because I'm like, it's so trite, it's so overdone, it's so stupid, and like, I'm not at all surprised, and I'm not surprised that that clearly this guy was not able to distinguish between a trans woman and a drag queen, or doesn't appreciate the differences or something. But the thing that really got me is like, he's turned out to be a nice guy. We ended up talking, told me he had an abusive dad. And I was like, so an abusive dad makes you, what the fuck are we doing here, Vincent? But it was like it was stupid and ignorant, but not like explicitly hateful. It was just like, it's what, 1998, 1999?
Yeah. I mean, I'm giving it more credit than it's due, but like, it could have been so much worse.
Yes, exactly. It didn't turn into like disgust and hatred. It was just, he could at least see the person he met as a human. But it was...
Yeah.
So it was not as bad as it could have been, but it was very like,
And then it turns to Jen and what her most embarrassing sexual encounter was. And she tells us the story that she's already told, which is that she was caught in her parents' bed doing stuff. And then they have kind of like this moment where like there's a lot of like sexual tension, and Vincent like is grazing her lip with his finger.
Yeah. And at first I was like, wait, is there blood on his finger? What are we doing?
I know.
Is it wine? Is it lipstick? What's happening?
I don't know. But anyway, then they start kissing and like lightly making out. And then it cuts back to Dawson and Abby in Dawson's room. Yeah. Abby, I guess, is watching this whole thing.
And Dawson's just like, what are you doing here?
And she's like, oh, I'm just concerned. I'm just concerned about Jen being with this man.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, it's kind of weird that Dawson doesn't seem to care at all.
Yeah, it seems like Dawson has fully turned the corner on Jen. It's like he's not even concerned.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, even if you're not interested in her romantically, you were her friend. Maybe you should be concerned that she's alone with an older man.
Yeah, and then I can sort of give him some credit because also he's clearly like has this very immediate issue of his parents like coming to a head.
Yeah, yeah. I guess Abby tries to find a way to stay there, find a way to kind of cozy up to Dawson by, like, he explains that, or no, I think she said she heard the arguing, and she's like, well, don't worry, just give it some time and they'll get divorced and then things will get a lot better.
Yeah. And and it was interesting because she was like, I mean, obviously she ended on, and my allowance quadrupled, but she's like, yeah, my mom has a life now. My dad's so much happier.
Yeah. I mean, it can be good.
Yeah.
The process is not good most of the time.
Yeah, usually the process is not fun, but like, once you get to that point of deciding to do it, it's, yeah.
Yeah.
But also she's then moves to like massaging and trying to seduce Dawson.
To try to get back at Jen.
Yeah, because half of Abby's conversations with Jen are just like, you're so hung up on Dawson. Why? So she knows that one thing that will hurt Jen the most is getting with Dawson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Some friend.
Yeah. Abby sucks.
Yeah, she really does.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then Dawson kicks her out. And as he's kicking her out through the window, I'll add,
yeah,
she's like, oh, well, I just didn't know. Maybe you and Joey have like an open relationship thing.
Mm.
I guess her saying that springs an idea into Dawson's head.
Yeah. Yeah. Somehow her saying that just changed, like clicked into place in his head.
Mm-hmm. And then Dawson pulls his parents aside into the kitchen and straight up asks, are you guys having an open marriage?
Yeah.
And they're both kind of like, well, I guess. Like,
well, it's funny because, like, as far as we know, neither of them has had sex with anyone else or had a real date since they declared this open marriage. It's sort of this unexecuted thing that they're like, yeah, this will help. And then neither of them dates anyone else.
Yeah. We're going to cut back to them later. They're really drawing it out. But next we see Vincent and Jen, and they're just making out on the table.
Yeah.
And
it is escalating.
Things escalate. Jen is trying to start asking, like, she's trying to stop it.
Yeah.
In a very polite way.
She's like, yeah, this is far enough.
Yeah, we're good, right?
Yeah.
And then Vincent keeps persisting.
Yeah, it doesn't get to, I wouldn't say a very aggressive point, but he's not hearing no and reacting accordingly.
Yeah, it's coercive, basically.
Yeah, he's pushing, he's taking no as an invitation to convince her.
Mm-hmm. And eventually Jen just blurts out, I'm 16!
Yeah, and at that point I was like, so he didn't, I mean...
Yeah, he acts surprised.
He acted real surprised. I was like, well, she was hanging out with Abby. And you clearly understood that
called
Abby
her a
was
preteen.
Yeah. What did you... I mean, I guess at best he thought she was 18? I don't know. Which is not better if you're... Like, listen, just because something is legal doesn't mean it's fine.
Yeah. And right at that moment, Gramps comes home.
Yeah. Yep. At that point at which Jen's back is on the table and she's like pushing Vincent away.
Yeah. And then Grams is like very aggressive, like, get the hell out of my house.
Yeah, fuck yeah, Grams.
Yeah.
For a moment, I agree with her.
Yeah. Then Andie finds Pacey at her house.
Yeah.
She comes in and she's immediately like frantic at Pacey and is just trying to get him to leave and doesn't want to explain anything. And Pacey's just confused. And then he gets mad at her because he thinks that, like, maybe she's ashamed of him or something.
Yeah.
Like, somehow it's his fault.
Yeah, like she doesn't want her family to see that she's dating this regular guy.
Yeah. And then he's like, no, we have to stay. It's rude. And I want to meet Tim. Who's Tim?
Aww.
And then she just blurts out, Tim's dead.
Yeah. Well, because I think they established earlier that Tim was, like, I think Andie's
brother.
mom said, oh, their older brother.
Yeah, you're right.
She said, yeah, Tim, their older brother who's home from Colombia or whatever.
Mm-hmm. And I think it just cuts to Pacey's face like, okay, I'm going to need some more information.
Yeah, like, okay.
So then we're back at the ice house, and Jack is trying to fix the lobster tank pump, I guess.
Yeah.
And when he tries to do this, all the power goes out, and the way he, like, pops up from behind the counter. It's just kind of funny.
Like a clueless meerkat.
Yeah. Yeah, this episode's giving all the feels. It's got funny moments, it's got sad moments, it's got gaspy moments.
It's got why is this happening moments, one of which is about to come up.
Yeah. They don't know what to do. And that guy who's just sitting there drinking coffee says basically, unplug it and plug it back in.
Yeah.
Genius idea.
Yeah.
And then they do that, and it fixes everything. And I love how Joey's like, thank you, mister. Like, yeah. It was just weird.
Yeah. Also, like, he couldn't hear you, like, wishing he would leave the whole night.
Yeah. He heard all of this, but he didn't hear the part where you were talking crap about him being here.
Yeah.
So then Joey says something about, now if he would just leave, and then Jack says, like, I don't think he has anywhere to go.
Yeah.
Like, I think he's hanging out here because he just doesn't have anywhere to be.
Yeah, and then they start just speculating.
Yeah, and then he starts speculating about, like, well, maybe he doesn't have a family, or maybe he's, like, estranged from that family, or maybe they're dead. I don't remember what he says, but, like, basically, he's talking about himself. Okay, so then, spooky, the guy disappears.
Yeah. Like, just like they turn back around and he's gone.
Yeah. And then Joey goes over to, like, clean up his mess, and she's like, great, no tip.
Which, like, also, honey, how much were you expecting on a cup of coffee?
Yeah.
That probably at most cost $1.
Yeah. Back in the 90s, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then she walks away, and Jack follows up to the table, picks up the napkin because there's something written on the napkin, and then underneath there's like $100 bill. And he shows it to Joey, and then she's like, we're rich. I'm like, what are we doing here?
What is happening? Why was that man there? Why does he know how to fix the lobster tank? Why did he leave $100 tip? Why did he write down what he wrote down?
Jack starts reading the thing written on the napkin, which basically is like poetry that is something about, like, not squandering love, I guess.
Yeah, it's like, the woman I love, something left, rhyming poetry, don't waste love.
Yeah. After he finishes reading the poem, he kind of does this, like, long stare at Joey.
Yeah.
And then the power cuts out again.
Yeah.
And they're silhouetted from the moon. And Joey is turning to go away, and then Jack turns her around and kisses her.
Yeah. And she's not, like, immediately, she just kind of, like, the kiss goes on a second, and then she, like, just, like, repression, pretend it didn't happen.
Yeah, pulls away and then just keeps cleaning the bar.
Yeah. Don't talk about it.
Let's see. Oh, we pop back to Dawson in the kitchen with his parents, and he's going at him. He's like, when were you going to tell me that, like, all this was going on?
Because at this point, though, he already knew about the cheating, right? He already knew that.
Yeah. Yeah, but I guess, like, when were you gonna tell me that, like, this is your grand solution of fixing things, I guess?
Yeah.
But I like when you said, like, when were you gonna tell me when you had the revolving door installed?
Yeah, that was pretty good.
So then Gail blames Mitch. She's like, well, talk to Mitch because this was his whole idea.
Mhm.
And then Mitch gets defensive and is like, well, this whole thing is because of your actions.
Yeah.
Gail goes to leave and I guess kind of talks about money again, saying, like, she has to go do her job to support his dreams. And then he's like, you've never supported me.
Yeah.
She's like, all I do is support you, or something like that. And
And
he's like, no, like, to support someone is more than just financial. Like, you haven't, like, been a supportive partner in a long time, which I don't know if we've really seen that, but yeah.
it doesn't. I guess I have not seen. I guess for either of them, they haven't shown like a real interest in what the other is doing beyond the possibility of cheating.
Hmm. Gail gets all emotional and sobs as she, like, runs off.
Hmm.
And then Dawson just gets fed up and says to his dad, you just need to let it go. Like, he starts yelling and is like, I
Yeah.
just need you to let it go. Like, I mean, you either do that or you don't. Like,
Yeah.
and he asks his dad to fix this family.
Yeah.
And then Mitch breaks down. He's like, I don't know what to do.
Hmm.
And then he weirdly goes into this, like, tangent about his dad.
Yeah.
Um,
Just like your granddad was great and he taught me so many things, but he didn't teach me what to do when my wife cheats. Like, what? Why are we on grandpa? Like it's
yeah.
but it also felt very realistic in that moment. Like the way that
Mhm.
Dawson was kind of flailing and being like, it felt messy in a very real way. Both the way
Mhm.
Dawson was just like fix it, and his dad's like going this roundabout way of saying I don't know how to fix it, and it
Mhm.
was so by being kind of a wandering dialogue, it felt very like real in the way that those kind of messy emotional situations can be.
Yeah, that feeling of being the kid and being like, I have no control over this and I don't see why you guys can't just fix it. And then the parents are like, because we're people. Like,
Yeah, this episode also made me think like, when you're a kid you want to know what's going on, but I just wanted to shake Dawson and be like, you don't want to get involved, dude. You don't want to be
yeah,
involved in this. And I was
yeah,
torn at what he was like saying at Mitch of like, it's down to you. You've got to get over your ego on the one hand, this isn't Mitch's fault. He did not cheat, but on the other hand, that is sort of where it stands.
yeah.
The ball is kind of is in court.
Yeah, Gail has kind of turned nasty, but in the beginning, before he suggested this open marriage, and he was just struggling to get over it, she was really trying to sweep it under the rug, and, like, would have happily gone back to how things were.
Well, they needed to find a better couples therapist, I think. They needed to like the one they had was like, why don't you try scuba diving? And they needed to like really.
Yeah,
So it was tough. I didn't know whether to like. I mean, maybe that's why it felt so real. Is it felt like everyone's wrong and no one's wrong.
yeah, yeah, yeah. As Mitch is, like, sobbing at the table, Dawson just goes over and puts, like, a hand on his shoulder because he's like, I don't know what to do here.
Yeah,
But
when
it was
you're
also such, like, a masculine, comforting way of
yeah,
comforting.
just like putting it just like I because he like hesitates
Yeah,
and but also that moment of being like a kid and just being and your parent is breaking down and just being like I don't I guess
I don't know what to do.
I don't know what to do, but I guess I have to be the adult. I have to make everything better. And you're like, I don't know how the fuck to do this, but like, there's no one else
Yeah.
here, so I guess it's got to be me.
Hmm. Then we cut to Jen sitting outside of her house. Grams comes out and is mad
Yeah.
and goes into her about having this guy there and engaging with this guy in that way. And Jen's like, I had it under control, which I'm like, think so.
Yeah, it was like maybe you would have gotten out of that unscathed, but like it was not a good idea on your part.
Yeah. Yeah. Graham's, I mean, she's trying to talk sense into her. She's like, I will not take this disrespect in my house. Like, I will not allow you to disrespect yourself. I will not allow you to go back to your old ways in New York, which up in the air how much of that was her fault.
Yeah.
But yeah, Grams is really tough loving her here, I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah, and as she goes to leave, she like turns back to Jen and says, "Have you no respect for yourself?"
And I don't think that's the issue, Grams. I don't think it's. Yeah, it's what you were saying that Grams was trying to give her this tough love moment and trying to like force Jen to not repeat mistakes. It was sort of like it's how their whole relationship plays out of like them wanting to know how to relate to each other, but just they're not on the same wavelength. And what I would like want to sit Grams down and be like, okay, why is she looking for this from this guy? Why is she entertaining this? It's because she's isolated, because she needs some kind of positive relationship or attention in her life. And it seems like religion isn't going to be the way to do it. So you have to work on finding some other solutions or some other ways to engage with her or some other ways to get her to engage with her community and the people around her.
Yeah.
Like she's doing this because there's a gaping hole inside of her, Grams. And she doesn't know how to fill it. So she's trying to fill it with dick.
Yeah. Just she's left out there alone.
Yeah.
Clearly just upset and lonely.
Yeah.
Dawson comes to the ice house because he had to get out of his house.
Yeah.
And he gets there and it's just Joey and Jack.
Yep.
And Dawson seems completely oblivious.
Yep.
Joey's acting kind of weird.
Yeah.
And Jack offers to close. He's like, I'll close out. You guys go ahead.
Yeah. To Jack's credit, he took a chance, and when she responded like that she didn't want to acknowledge it, he's like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, then I'm going to, now that she's in this awkward situation, I will excuse her from it so that we don't have to, it doesn't get worse.
Yeah, and so her and Dawson walk away, but she does do a look back at Jack. So,
yeah.
I don't know what it means, but...
I don't know. If I were Joey, I'd like Jack better, but...
Yeah, he's like, okay, Dawson's kind of dumb in a way, and then Jack is kind of dumb in a way, but I think Jack's dumbness is kind of more adorable.
Yeah. And it's also, I don't know, I'm much more... I find that I like connect more with people who this sounds either so pretentious or so stupid. Just like people who can kind of like see the darkness in the world and be like, yeah, this is what we're dealing with. Whereas Dawson just kind of doesn't see it.
Yeah. This actually, I'm going to quote a friend of mine.
Yeah.
My best friend. She has this term for people who like can't see the darkness and like nothing ever bad really seems to happen to these people or doesn't seem to affect them. She calls them shiny people.
Yeah.
Like sometimes when she's like describing someone I don't know to me, she's like, they're like a shiny person. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Like I'm thinking of a friend of mine who's like, I was talking to him about some of the stuff going on in my life and he's just being like endlessly positive. And I'm like, that's not what okay.
Yeah, like, can you just say, yeah, that sucks?
Yeah, to anybody out there, man, woman, non-binary, anything. Sometimes all the person who's telling you wants to hear is this, that's awful. That sucks.
Mm-hmm.
That just sucks. And like, and that feels good because you need someone in the outside world, outside of your head, to be able to tell you, like, no, you're not crazy to be upset about this because that does suck.
Mm-hmm. Shiny people.
Shiny people. I mean, that's how I'm I'm gonna steal that in that classification in my head.
Next, we go to a sad scene at Andie's house. Her mom is just somewhere, I guess, and Andie and Pacey are in the kitchen. Andie gives the backstory of everything that's going on. So she explains that her family was at like a college football game. I don't know if her brother was in football or just they were going to his college for a football game, whatever.
Yeah.
And apparently dad got drunk at the tailgate or something, and so mom drove, which it's kind of weird, like why does that even matter? But it might have something to do with her mom handling the death in the way she is.
Yeah.
And then she explains like, yeah, mom didn't see the truck.
Yeah.
And then she asks Pacey to not say anything. He's like, well, couldn't you just get her some help? Like, couldn't we fix this somehow? And she's like, she was hospitalized for a while and dad's not really around. He's in Providence with the business.
And the business is failing.
Yeah. And she says Jack avoids reality. Like he's not really dealing with what's happening. He's just kind of living in it, but not addressing it or thinking about it, I guess.
Yeah.
Andie explains, like, yeah, I take care of things, basically.
Yeah. And this sounds like what she says is like, I'm the only one that can kind of take care of mom or can like calm her down or whatever it is, which is a dynamic you see in people who need care, whether it's mental health issues or dementia. But that's, oof. So yeah, it's like not just that they're not rich anymore. It's that like, oh, one of the children of the family died and the mother feels at fault for it and is not accepting that reality and probably completely and like the death of a child, many relationships do not survive the death of a child.
Mm-hmm.
And like in this one, you have the issue of like she was driving because you were too drunk, and now the mom has to live with that. It's just a big old mess. And Andie and Jack are just like, well, gotta finish high school.
Yeah. Yeah, and apparently, I mean, their dad sucks.
Yeah.
Like, he's just like, well, bye.
Yeah, she said, like, he calls once a week.
Yeah. So she's explaining all of this, and Pacey, like, goes and tries to comfort her, and she's like, I don't want you to pity me. And then he hugs her anyway, and it's very sweet, but also kind of like, he's kind of giving like a knight in shining armor vibe. Am I wrong about that?
I don't know. I didn't get it that way. I think it was more. Okay. Well, it was interesting you bring up there's like, I don't want you to pity me, and that's.
I feel that.
Okay, but I feel like people, and like I have felt it before, is that I think that is sometimes people will mischaracterize any kind of like emotional support as pity when that's not what it is necessarily. It wasn't.
Stop reading me.
It's not that Pacey was pitying her. It was just like, that's awful and you need comfort and support, and I'm here and I'm happy to provide that for you.
Yeah.
So, but also, yeah, I get it.
Yeah, it's probably my obscured view a little bit in it too. But yeah, it is really sweet of him. Like, their whole relationship seems to kind of, I don't want to say change, but like, I don't know. There's a turn here that feels clear and not clear at the same time.
Yeah. It's different. I mean, there is a closeness that comes from sharing your darkness.
Then we cut to Joey and Dawson, and they're on the roof outside of his bedroom again. And Joey's being weird. Like,
just tell him.
You can see she's like about to do it. Like, she's thinking about how she's gonna do it.
Yeah, but also he's so upset.
Yeah.
But I was like, no, Joey, you got to just spit it out, make it clear it's not a thing, and move on.
Yeah, I think I probably would have waited till the next day. I probably
Okay.
would have been like,
I could
hey,
see that.
so, I was going to tell you this yesterday, but like, I
You
thought
had
maybe
a lot
you were
going on.
dealing with enough.
Okay, but here's the thing: is that I am assuming that Joey will not tell him the next day.
That would be a very correct assumption. Anyway. I think Joey says something like, we need to talk, or, oh, like, something crazy happened tonight. And then Dawson says, I don't want to talk.
Yeah.
I just want to look at you under the moonlight or something.
Yeah, he's like, let's just forget all the things happened.
Yeah, he's like, you're all that matters.
Oh, God. And she's like, okay.
Yeah. They're like looking at the moon, and then I don't know, Dawson being Dawson is trying to find something positive, and he says, look at the moon. And he's like, close your eyes. And don't you see it or something? She's like, what is it? And he's like, the man in the moon.
Which, like, I don't know, is this a thing? I've heard of the man in the moon, but like the closing your, I'm like, what are we doing?
Is that the REM song?
I mean, there is an REM song, but I think the origin of the man in the moon is that like there's supposedly at some angles you could see like a face in the moon.
Oh, okay.
But it is a good REM song.
Yeah. Anyway, but then she gasps and she's like, no, it's a woman. Like, okay.
And I was immediately like, are we doing another trans joke? What are we doing here? But no, it was just
trying to lighten the mood, I guess.
Or something.
I don't
know. Being feminist? I don't know.
Yeah. And then they have a kiss, and it becomes clear that Joey has decided not to tell him right now.
Yeah. And Dawson's like kind of breaking down. He's like holding back tears.
Yeah. He starts crying, and Joey's just trying to be the supportive person and be like, it's not about me right now.
Yeah. And then we have the everyone is sad montage.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a little bit more dialogue, because next we cut to Gale and Mitch, I think, in their bedroom.
Yeah.
And Gale's just like staring out of a window. And Mitch comes in, and Gale's like, it's time.
Yeah.
And Mitch says, I know.
Yeah.
And you know what they're talking about, but it becomes clear when Gale's like, so should I leave? And Mitch is like, I'll go.
Oh. And part of me was like, is there a way that they could, like, they clearly, I think they would need, I don't know. It seems like they both, I don't know. I don't know what the solution to infidelity and TV divorce is. But it was sad.
Yeah. Hey, at least trying something different. Maybe it'll bring them together. Who knows? You can't keep going. Like, clearly what they're doing right now is not working. And in the words of Einstein, I don't know the exact quote, but you can't keep doing the same thing and expect a different result.
Yeah, so it's like clearly they need to do something different, but it was like, it sounds like they're just fully like divorced.
Yeah, so this is the montage of sadness. And then they're playing, what's Jewel's song, Hands.
My hands, they are my own. Oh, wait, no, they're small.
I don't know. They're not yours. They're
mine.
Are my own. I don't actually know the exact words.
But my hands are small, I know. But they are not yours, they are my own.
Yeah, so Dawson's crying, Joey's embracing him, Jack is at the restaurant. No, he's like sitting on a dock looking at the poem on the napkin. Pacey's still hugging Andie in the kitchen. Mitch and Gale are sad separately in different rooms. Mm-hmm. Jen's sitting outside by herself.
Yeah.
And it ends on the moon.
The moon. It all would have been fine if it weren't for that damn moon. Oh, Lord.
They're like, well, we got to start creating some more conflicts this season. We're not even halfway through this season. We still got some deeper holes to dig.
Lord. Well, I guess that brings us to the big question. Whose creek is it?
Yes, whose creek is it? I have no idea. I knew as I was watching this, I'm like, cool. Everyone's having really pivotal moments.
Yeah. I don't think it's Pacey. And
No.
I don't think it's Jen, because it still feels sort of status quo for Jen. Like, I feel like she hasn't.
Yeah. Another bad thing happened. Surprise.
Yeah, she keeps doing the same thing and trying to have different results. I think this week it was Dawson's Creek. Because it felt like this underlying conflict in his home and in his family is finally coming to a head. And it seemed like he fully inserted himself in it. And he's sort of clearly they've been living under the just don't talk about it situation in their household, which, you and I know nothing about. The whole household is just don't ask and don't tell anything. And now everything's kind of coming out and he's being forced to reckon with it. At the same time, it's sort of, he's being forced, this stuff is coming to a head, but it almost maybe it's Mitch and Gale's creek.
Yeah, so here's my thoughts.
Go.
First of all, Andie's really getting screwed because everyone else is also having a lot happen. Aww. But her story's pretty intense.
Oh yeah, that's true. Maybe it's Andie's creek.
I don't know. The problem is it's so weird that that's like a B or C story here.
Yeah.
And then I was going to say maybe it's Mitch's, but I could see it could be Mitch and Gale. I was thinking Mitch because he had the moment in the kitchen with Dawson.
Yeah. Yeah.
Showing some vulnerability that I don't think we've really seen before.
Yeah, it's interesting because Mitch, he's not like a raw macho kind of guy, really. But he's seems like a reasonably evolved man, but he kind of wasn't really letting himself feel it and break down till then.
Mm-hmm. But I do agree that Dawson has a lot going on too. What do you think?
Oh man.
I think I'm going with Mitch. You don't have to go with me.
Okay. I think I'm going to stick with Dawson, but Mitch is an honorable mention. I feel like we've landed in a good place.
Yeah. I'm also thinking, well, Gale got an episode in season 1.
Yeah, and this really, it seems like things didn't actually... They said, it's time to do it, but, there was more sort of movement emotionally by Mitch than by Gale.
Yeah, it's as if, Gale kind of saw this coming somehow, but Mitch still hadn't decided what was happening.
Yeah, it's the ball has been in Mitch's court for a long time, so Gale's been kind of along for the ride, hoping it would work out, but... Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This was a very emotionally taxing episode.
This was, there was a lot of emotions in this episode. And then also just the random guy drinking coffee, writing a poem, leaving $100. Why is that happening?
I don't know. Was he a magician? Was he Santa? Was he a figment of their imagination?
I think they just needed some reason for Jack to kiss Joey, but I don't know why this was the reason.
Couldn't he have just found a poem somewhere?
Yeah. Why did they need a mysterious man drinking coffee? I get the feeling that this Jack and Joey storyline is not over, though.
You're right. It's not just suddenly going to disappear.
I've watched television before.
Okay, so the next episode is season 2, episode 6, titled The Dance, which, if you recall, there was an episode in season 1 called Dance.
But this is different. It's The Dance.
Yes.